I felt like I had a pretty good week. And now I feel like I'm white knuckling going into the next week. Not sure if I can do it 2 weeks in a row, which I know I can. Nothing I did was super hard,
Yeah.
you know, but
It sounds like you're a little anxious about sustainability of it, and like also the trusting yourself.
yeah, I think it's more the trusting yourself.
Welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing swell.
Good.
We're in 2026. We reflected. We looked back at 2025. We thought about what we want to bring with us. We thought about where we want to go.
Right.
And we've already passed, as you brought up to me, the National Quitters Day.
Yep. It was last Friday.
Okay.
It just was last Friday.
So we are in that, I think officially 2026, right? Like we're past the holidays. We're past the initial glow of all the aspirations and things that like we're planning for, right?
Yeah. The newness, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That excitement.
And so this is where like our ideals are going to meet reality. Like it's happening, it's starting to happen, right?
Yes.
And some people might already be discouraged or wondering if they have what it takes to actually obtain those lofty goals or aims that they maybe designed along with us, right? Because you made that really cool PDF, super cool.
Thanks.
Nice guide. I heard some people were checking it out. So
were they?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Just want you to know that.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. And I heard from some people. And I even looked back over it just to see if like you added anything new. And I was like, okay, this will be helpful to come back to like next quarter.
It's simple. I mean, it's a simple worksheet, but it's pretty straightforward. So you can do it relatively quickly, but hopefully it can get you somewhere a little in depth.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now that like I was talking to somebody and it's like, it's already the second week of January, which means January is pretty much over, which means it's basically February. Like I'm like, that's kind of how my brain was feeling too. Like I was like, like the time just kind of feels like it's speeding up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, let's take a little pause. Let's get our bearings. And so what I really was wanting to ask you was, how are you approaching these goals that you set? And like what habits or metrics or rituals or tactics, I guess, are you setting in place to help you maybe reach what you're aiming for, or like after we did all that work?
Yep.
So do you how are you being mindful about what you're doing and all that? I'm like, this is where, like I said, the ideals of like a to-do list are now going to meet real life, and we're back into work and school and bills and all the things that come with when you're not on holiday. Right?
Right. True.
It's like, oh,
very true.
Back to reality. So I was just like, okay, so how's it going? And I was just like, what are you doing to keep that momentum or that progress going that we were like kind of in, I don't know, the zeitgeist of or something? I don't know. Probably a better word for that.
Now, really good question. And I don't know if struggle is the right word, but I have been struggling with it this past week. So I've been journaling a lot. So, I like to journal. So I've been journaling a lot. So one of my areas, so my word this year theme is transform. And so one of the areas of my life that I want to transform is my health and wellness. And that might sound like a traditional kind of resolution, but I'm trying to do it in a way that's different than that. So it's not, full court press on every single area, nutrition, working out, like all of this. I'm trying to fit it into my life in a way that it can become sustainable.
A lifestyle.
A lifestyle.
Right?
Yep. I'm trying to build a lifestyle, not a quick, get healthy fast sort of thing.
So I think that, okay, so that's maybe close to the original thought that got me wanting to talk about this stuff was like I made these intentions and these aims and then goals that are going to help me get there because I have an idea of the person I want to be at the end of 2026.
Yeah.
There is a certain lifestyle that I want.
Yeah.
Same as you. One of my big goals is kind of a transformation in my health.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be more active. I want to be able to play tennis without getting hurt.
Yeah, that would be fun.
By simply practicing, like
yeah.
I get it. Like if I was playing hockey and I collided with somebody, I'm going to probably get hurt.
Yeah.
But like tennis, like it shouldn't hurt for me to practice a serve.
Right. I was going to say you can still get hurt, but maybe hopefully not serving if you're doing it.
The way I got hurt
good form
is I overdid it because my lifestyle isn't what my brain thinks it is.
Yeah.
I'm not at the caliber of athletic form that I was or that my brain still thinks I am.
Right.
Because I used to be, kind of thing. It's like, okay, I need to kind of check myself, right?
Right.
And so I want to be at a certain spot to be able to, so for tennis, or maybe for other people it's writing or some other art, and or their work. And what I find myself doing, or maybe a mindset I find myself in, is I'll find myself waiting to become the kind of person that plays tennis when I can.
Yeah.
But if I keep waiting to be that person, I'm never going to do it.
Okay.
Like if I don't start small and realize, okay, I overdid it, I had a big setback, I still want to do it. It's still an aim of mine is to just compete at a very fun, playful level.
Yeah.
But still compete. If I don't start taking the small steps to build that foundation, then I'm going to reach the end of 2026 and I'll be like, oh, I didn't make that mark, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that clear? There was something around oh, am I just waiting for it to be right? And it's well, if I don't start doing something, it's never going to be the right time.
Yeah.
If I don't start going for short walks, I'm never going to run a 5K, kind of thing.
Right.
And so that turned into, in my head, the question I asked you of so what are you doing to make it happen?
Yeah. Yeah. And so going back to I'm journaling is kind of my first piece, because I need to figure out what is making me get stuck. Because I think one thing that you've talked about is you're kind of waiting for it to be perfect, or waiting for it to be how you think it should be.
Yeah. Or just imagining oh, sure will be great when I get to that point. And it's well, I'm not going to if I don't take these little steps.
Right.
And I kind of forget that. I get caught in the larger vision, which isn't necessarily me.
Right.
But I, or maybe it's a little bit like sometimes when I watch people build things on TV or on a YouTube video, it kind of fulfills that yearning I have to make things.
Yeah.
And then I don't do anything. So there's somewhere in between that.
I get that.
So.
Yeah, I've found that some of the pieces that I'm struggling with right now, I keep telling myself what I'm doing isn't good enough, even though I'm showing up, I'm lifting weights, I'm working on my nutrition. I know I had not a long journaling session, but one of those ones where the words just flow from your pen, and so it could have been 10 minutes, it could have been an hour and a half. I have no idea, because I think it was only 30 minutes, but it was just flowing. And the piece that caught me is that specifically with wellness, so nutrition and working out and things like that, I kept telling myself, you have to be consistent to build momentum. And what I've realized is that I don't think that's untrue. Like, I do think you have to show up and do things when you don't want to sometimes, and that builds a pattern of you being able to show yourself that you're going to follow through for yourself. But I was realizing that I was framing it in my mind more as you have to have so much willpower to show up when you don't want to, that this is going to be a slog and this is going to be hard and you're never going to be able to do it. And I really was getting into a place of doubting that it was possible. And I think I got, when you and I talked once this week, I said, well, I only did my physical therapy things on Friday. And you're like, and that is activity.
Yeah.
You were doing glute bridges and, side planks. That is activity.
Yeah. You're like, I only worked out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and not Friday, but I guess I went to physical therapy. I'm like, from what you described physical therapy is like, I mean, like physical therapy is just a different way of saying I went and worked out.
Yeah, I was sweating. I will say he didn't take it easy on me.
I'm like, girl, that's work. Like, I've been there. It's work.
Yeah.
So it's like finding a way to give yourself credit, kind
of what are those wins.
Yeah.
Right. And it made me think a lot about, a while ago we talked about the gap and the gain.
Yeah.
And not talking about what is it, the gap between where you are now and where you want to go, like you were talking about, right? Like sometimes you look at, where am I going, and
how far that is.
Yeah, it feels
it's so far away. I'm never going to get there. Instead of looking back and thinking, oh, look how far I've come.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did spend a lot of time, and it seems so cheesy, but a lot of time saying, here's something I did. One of my biggest wins this week was I love gumdrops, like the spice gumdrops from Christmas, like that have like the cinnamony ones and the spearmint ones. I don't know why. I just love. I
think you're grabbing a nice piece of like fruity candy, like a dot, and then it's just like spice.
Minty.
I'm like,
so good.
Like, oh no, I don't want to brush my teeth.
So good. But I brought them back to Green Bay with me this week, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a little cup every single night, which is, I could have done too. But I sat there and I looked at it on Tuesday and I go, this is not the best decision for where I want to go. And so I'm like, just throw them in the trash. That sounds terrible, but throw them in the trash. You aren't a trash can. You don't need to eat them just because they're there. And so I didn't just throw the whole bag in the trash. I like emptied them out into coffee grounds in the trash. I did not trust my raccoon-like tendencies.
Yeah.
Like, what if I decide to pull out?
The bag covered them.
The bag covered them.
It's fine.
I was like, oh, that would have been like a low. That would have.
Yeah, don't be a trash panda.
I was proud of myself for that. I'm like, look, you did it. And I will say another thing, just to throw this out, because one thing I was trying to do, and I'm trying to do, is not do mindless eating. Right. So it's super easy, especially during the holidays, to be like, oh, there's an extra plate of cookies in the back room. I'll just grab one of those when I hit like the afternoon slump. Right. Or, oh, I had those really tasty Scandinavian treats we did homemade with my sister and my mom. How about I have one of those rosettes, just because I can. They're here. They're special. But one thing I'm learning to do is oftentimes people give you food too, and then what do? I don't know about you, not everyone does this, but I feel bad, right? Because I want them to know that I approve of them as a person, so I'll often eat it. It makes no sense.
Whoa, there's a lot there.
That makes no sense, right? Of, here is a chocolate. I'm not hungry. I'm trying not to eat chocolate, yet I will eat it, so you know that I approve of you.
That's what you think?
Isn't that weird?
I think to me, it's more of like,
I got some mess up thinking.
You don't look a gift horse in the mouth kind of thing. It's like, someone was nice enough to give you something that you must appreciate and cherish it. But that's like a unhelpful script, I believe.
Yeah, yes, I would agree with you.
Because like you don't have to accept every gift someone tries to hand you, right? Like that's a new one that we've been trying to implement, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, just kind of put it on the lazy Susan and send it back.
And there's nothing wrong with taking it and not having to confront every single time somebody offers or gives you food. You can always take it and then put it aside, throw it away, share it with someone else, bring it home, save it for later when you are hungry and do feel like eating it. There's lots of options, but I'm just trying to be very thoughtful about those situations because I know that matters with where I'm trying to go with my wellness from a transform standpoint. I felt like I had a pretty good week, and now I'm a little bit, I feel like I'm white knuckling going into the next week. Not sure if I can do it 2 weeks in a row, which I know I can. Nothing I did was super hard. But
it sounds like you're a little anxious about sustainability of it, and like also the trusting yourself.
Yeah, I think it's more the trusting yourself than anything. Because like I said, what I'm doing, I'm not, in Januaries of the past, I would be up, January 1, 6 a.m., gonna go to the gym, even though I hadn't been to the gym in months, 1 hour workout on the elliptical or whatever it was. Basically waterlogging myself in water, adding lemon for good measure, like just all these things. And I don't want to live like that. I just want to be able to live in a healthy way, but I want it to be more doable.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the other things that came out of like celebrating the wins was that I thought that was a really nice pairing to go with accountability and responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like I go to, how can I be disciplined? What's my regimen? What are my protocols? And I try to go all in on that. And what we just talked about, which is like, okay, and also let's not just keep going full steam all ahead, process. Let's reflect a little bit and think about, okay, am I making progress? Like, am I measuring the things that are important? And am I seeing the results I want? If not, how do I adjust?
Yeah.
And so because it's not just about like, hooray for me, I did the thing I said I was going to do and pat myself on the back. It's more of like, well, yes, like that can be like a little bit of motivator, a little positive reinforcement, but it gives me a moment to pause and check in.
Yeah.
And like I'm never really great at acknowledging the accomplishment. But I'm finding that when I do, it helps keep me accountable and feeling like it's like, it makes me want to do it again.
Right.
Actually.
Yeah.
And instead of like just brushing it off and like thinking like, well, but I did that, but I'm not where I want to be still. I'm not where I want to be still. Like, I don't want that to be like, it's not a conscious thing. It's just all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, I'm not super happy. I'm not where I want to be. But then it's like, but I just did the thing, I spent however many hours doing, whether it's writing, like I said, because it doesn't just have to be health, right?
Yeah.
Like we have projects that we are each wanting to work on, and it doesn't simply take showing up.
Right.
It takes preparation.
Yeah.
Like what was I thinking of? Like taking a test in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just show up, you're probably not going to do very well. Like the whole point is to do the work before you show up for the test. It's preparation. It's the homework.
Yeah.
I think they go hand in hand is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's one or the other and doing homework is the best. I'm saying part of getting the things done is, you have to show up, because if you don't show up, you're going to fail.
Right.
But like, does that not make sense? Like the preparation is important to also showing up.
I mean, it makes sense. Where I get stuck is that you and I both can spend a lot of time in the prepare phase. And so if we decide that preparing is so important, there are things that we simply will not move forward on, or we have the risk of not moving forward on. because we're saying, well, we said it's important to prepare. And I'm going back to health and wellness again. Like there have been Januaries where I've spent more time figuring out, okay, what do I need to buy from exercise clothes? Oh, I need yoga blocks.
Right.
Oh, maybe I should get that new app. That would get me the perfect thing. And I got to do the research on what app's best, so I think we can get stuck in that, but I think it's important. So it's not a yes or no, but I think it's a yes, but proceed with realistic caution.
Right.
Is
So
that fair?
I think so. I think I maybe said it in a way that made you think that I think preparation is more important than showing up. And
Not necessarily.
the showing up is the action.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying, so maybe this might be a better analogy or metaphor or whatever. Look it up. I don't know. Food prep.
Yeah.
That was a big part of your success last week.
Yeah.
You took the time.
Definitely was.
To do food prep. Well, to food prep, you had to get the food.
Yep.
Not just think about it. Not just meal planning. Because that's where one thing where it's like, ooh, maybe I could have that. Maybe I could have that. So I can see what I see what you're saying, and especially like given my track record of like ideating and thinking and having the perfect thought of how I'm going to do it before I do it. Which has a time and place, and it's usually like bridge building, like in the real world. But
I know what you're saying.
So setting yourself up, so that when you show up, you're more likely to succeed.
Right. So last week I made soup on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I made like a turkey kielbasa veggie. I don't know what you call it, but like a sheet pan full of lots and lots of veggies and some turkey kielbasa.
Yeah.
And I ate that pretty much all week. And so I had it all portioned out. It was easy just to grab. Oh, I also love avocado toast. The avocados I got were very, very hard still, but I had some holy guacamole, like the chunky holy guacamole. And I had that on some sourdough with some eggs in the morning. And oh my gosh, I was in heaven. And morning felt easy peasy for breakfast. Lunch was super easy because it was ready and already portioned out. And supper was easy too because I had all the things that I needed to do that. And I planned every morning, this is what I'm having. So it wasn't what should I have? Should I go here? Should I do that? Should I pick this up? It was like, nope, you're going to have grilled cheese and a side salad. Like that is what you're going to have. You're going to have soup and toast, like it was easy and satisfying and good food,
Yeah. So right. That makes sense, right? Like,
I get what you're saying.
You prepared
now. Sure.
And took the actions.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about preparing as in like researching.
No.
I'm glad you caught that.
No. You know me too well.
Well, you know me well too. Like I've spent a lot of time figuring out what is the perfect X, Y, or Z to move me forward in my goals. So
the other thing with that preparing and then doing the thing or showing up is scheduling it and putting it on paper or wherever you keep track of the things that you're going to do. That's something I've found over the last few years. Like it used to not be up to me to create my schedule. And now it is. So it's kind of weird. I'm not I'm getting used to it. I've gotten better at it over the last couple of years. And it's kind of empowering, but at the same time, then it's like, well, I need to decide and I need to choose. Am I going to go get movement? Am I going to go for a walk? And well, if I don't write it down, it really isn't going to happen. So what I do is I have like a little pocket calendar that I keep, and I'll write stuff down and I'll put a little box there so I can like a little check box. And, when I look back and I didn't check it off because I didn't do it, I feel like I kind of hold myself accountable, and I'm like, all right, you're going to get so like if it's like movement, I call that like my health account.
Sure.
Probably for that day, I probably give myself a minus. It's just a little way. It's like a red, yellow, green kind of thing to check in with myself. So I think it's because you're really good at planning, or you have your routines, you have your plan, and you stick to it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to it besides simply writing it down that you find is helpful with that, or it's like brings up all this time blocking stuff. It's like stuff we've talked about, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there are any like little nuggets that are like helpful that maybe we've not hit on or that are just worth repeating.
What I'm trying to do right now with the different things I'm trying to incorporate. So I keep saying getting back to movement, but I've been lifting weights for the last 6 weeks, or even probably longer. It's not like I've stopped 100%,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been more consistent each week with it. So what I've been doing, I know that I do my best work in the morning. And so I really do enjoy getting up, having a cup of coffee, planning, journaling, and then if I have extra time, enrichment or reading for fun, things like that. But I've been habit stacking. And so I know I have the coffee, right? Planning, journaling. So what I've been doing is saying, okay, so I have that routine pretty solid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the coffee. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out while the coffee's brewing instead of sitting on the couch.
Oh, waiting for it
To brew.
I find myself catching myself in those situations too of like, ooh, I could be doing something else right now.
Yeah. That's one thing. Think about those habits that you already have in place that are pretty strong and see if just adding something to it, either on the front end or the back end, and that might actually help.
Yeah. Or like batch them together. Yeah.
Batch them. Yep.
I like to listen to things while I'm doing housework.
Yeah.
It makes it more enjoyable, but then it's also like, well, I get to work on the book I want to listen to also. Like, but yeah, that's okay.
I mean, I think that's another thing though too you hit on. You don't have to make it unpleasant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can always say, okay, so this is going to be my opportunity. I get to read this book that I really want to. I know I have a rowing machine, and when I have rowing into my routine, I'll say, I get to watch this show that I don't watch with Keith that I'm really dying to know what happens.
Yeah.
I can put my iPad up there and watch and row.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did that last winter.
It's really nice.
Yeah. I got through some shows doing that.
Yeah.
Which means I worked out.
Yeah, I did too. And it's, I know there's one series that I really like, and I have to get back to. I used to always watch Jane the Virgin on Netflix. I don't even know if it's still on there. I hope it is because I haven't finished it. But I used to watch that when I'd walk or run on the treadmill here.
Yeah.
But there's so many seasons. So many seasons. It's basically like a telenovela. So anyway, I like having a nice long series like that, like rewatching Scrubs or Parks and Rec or something that you look forward to.
Yeah.
Would be kind of fun.
Yeah, it's like I laugh every time I think of it, but embracing the suck. And
yeah,
because like if you're in the gym, sometimes it's just no fun.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it has to be unbearably not fun. Like it can be like, well, at least I'm listening to this podcast or I'm listening to this music. Or the other thing too is like I should try it, but when people are like, "Oh, go for a walk with no headphones or no this or that," I'm like, "Yeah, but then I gotta listen to traffic, and I gotta listen to that." You know what I mean? And I'm like,
gosh, I love doing that. I love listening to the birds.
I don't hear birds. I hear like 18-wheelers downshifting or jake braking or whatever.
Yeah, I block that out. I listen to the birds and the wind and the trees rustling.
Yeah. So I think I'm saying yes and like
sure.
it might work to have a show going. It might work to have music. It might work to have a podcast.
Yeah, I listen to a podcast right now.
Or maybe it is simply I'm going to embrace how much this sucks and reap the benefits.
Or I mean,
I'll just say it. Like
it might not even be how much it sucks though. It could be I'm going to embrace and be really present with feeling my muscles be strong.
That's probably more what I mean, actually.
You know what I mean, though? Like there's sometimes, so I've been going to physical therapy for just, my hip has been sore the last several months. And one thing they gave me was a one-legged glute bridge. And I was like, I can't do that. I'm like, I'm just going to go with 2 legs. And so I went with 2 legs for a while. They're like, no, we really want you to do a one-legged. I was like, okay, well, I'll do it with a weight. So I did it for a weight. And then I tried it after I started doing more of my lifting routine. And I'm like, oh, Well, how about that? I can do it. It's ugly. She ugly.
Oh no.
But I can do a one-legged glute bridge on both sides, even my weak hip side. So yeah, actually, my physical therapist says I shouldn't call my muscle weak or my hip weak. Weak or injured. He says, just call it lazy. Right now, it's just a little lazy.
There you go. Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
like, it's important how you talk about yourself and how you talk to yourself. I'm like, I agree with you.
A little unmotivated.
Yeah.
Even more gentle. I think we're talking about, doing the things that set us up to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that, what came to my head was back to kind of like the design thinking and designing your life, where I guess it's maybe the first time I actually heard be like, I don't know if they said be a scientist, but like experiment.
Yeah.
And start thinking of things as experiments.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that gives me so much freedom to not, because like experiments are all about failure. Like most of them fail, but they give you
Yeah.
data.
Right.
Bringing that further, I guess I want to go into doing these things and thinking of them as experiments where if it doesn't work out, it's not catastrophic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not. It just, like I could see how I can get there and maybe have like in years past of, oh well, that was a waste of time and I'm not any closer to where I was,
Right.
to where I want to be. But with age comes like, well, I learned that that's not what I want to do, or
Yeah.
like setting ourselves up to try things out and to test things where there's not a huge risk involved. Like everything, it doesn't have to be all or nothing kind of thing, right?
Right.
Like I kind of, it's probably because it's coming back to like I kind of went all in and got hurt.
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, so for me, it brings more up like my theme for the year, which is measured ambition.
Yeah.
Because it is for me, all of these things I'm seeking, I want them to be part of my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And that means over time. And that means patience as well as getting after it and running these experiments.
Right.
So do you have any experiments?
Kind of experiments that I'm doing?
Yeah.
So I have a couple. One is I'm trying to get more water. I pretty much do pretty well drinking just plain water.
So boring.
I
Oh.
drink about 100 ounces a day. That's my goal, is 100 ounces a day. So that means like 3 of these, right, each day. So I always have this with me.
You do.
But I kind of fell out of that maybe routine in December. And so, and I'm one of those people when they go to work, they have the purse, the laptop bag, the lunch bag. Like I'm basically a pack mule.
When you come home, it's so funny. I'm like, you gotta rotate and turn or make 2 trips in from the car.
Yeah, there's so much. And so I bring an empty bottle of water with me because I could fill it up there, right? Because they have water at work. But I would find I wouldn't fill it up all day long, and I might drink a sparkling water, but that's it. And then I'd get to the end of the day and I'd be like, whoa, I am about 30 to 40 ounces of water behind where I normally should be. And so I wasn't getting the hydration that I was used to. Or if I did, I was drinking it so darn close to bedtime, I'd have to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, like at 2 a.m, 3 a.m. Then my sleep suffered. So what I've been doing is I've said to myself, okay, I completely understand that the water bottle's heavy, but are there other things that maybe you don't need to be bringing with you that you're carrying back and forth, back and forth? And so I've lightened my bags and I've said, I know it's a little heavier, but if you have it, you're going to be set up for more success because you're going to drink on it all day. Because I can't tell you how many times in December I'd pick up my water bottle and I'd be like, oh, shoot, it's empty. But I'm like, I'm in a meeting, or, oh, shoot, I don't have enough time, or I missed my window. So that's what I'm trying right now is a bottle of water before I go, fill it up, drink that throughout the day, fill it before I leave work, and drink it on the way home. And that worked pretty well last week.
Okay.
So I'm just experimenting with that.
Yeah.
There's one other thing too. Now I'm trying. Oh, I know another. Do you have one though?
No, I was going to ask, what are some of the things that you realize you didn't need to be carrying with you?
So I have a really bad habit of carrying books that I intend to read back and forth with me, and not ones that I have any intention of pulling out at a meeting of work and being like, let me cite on page 24. It's more like, here's a book I'm going to read for a book club I'm going to be hosting in a month and a half. Why am I carrying that back and forth for 3 weeks? Don't know.
Just wishing you had a 5-minute break to read a book during the day.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I also carry lots of papers with me, and sometimes even I'll bring my laptop home, and I don't have any intention to do deep work that night. Like, I'm often bringing it home to just do some deeper work when I can. But I've this week I left my laptop at work twice because I thought, okay, I'm going home around 6 or so. My plan is to work on this at home with my time, and I'm going to be right back here bright and early in the morning at 7. So I don't really think I need to bring the laptop back and forth. And so sometimes I'll even bring it in so it's not in a cold car and just leave it downstairs and not bring it all the way up the stairs, then bring it all the way down the stairs. So that seems to help too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the other thing?
The other thing is you and I are both doing dry January this month.
Yep. That's my experiment.
Yeah. Is it? Well, and we got going just a little late. And this is where I think it's good for us to check ourselves and know that perfection doesn't need to be the enemy of, what is it? What's the saying? Shoot, I shouldn't try.
Of good.
Of good.
Or done. I don't know.
Or done.
Yeah.
Because, so my sister was in town and her family, and they were here until the 4th. And so we decided we are going to start dry January on the 5th after she had left, just so when we're doing different family get-togethers, we can have a glass of wine. And not that we'd have had to do that, but we made the conscious decision to do it that way.
Yeah.
And so we've been in dry January for about a week, close to a week now. I've been experimenting a little bit with what is it like to not have any of the non-alcoholic beers around. So the last couple of years when we've done it, we found some really great NA beers and like them. And it's not that I'm not going to have them, but I'm not going to have so many of them around. I drink more of those than I would drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to just replace a 1-for-1.
Exactly.
Is kind of what I'm experimenting with.
Yeah, because part of it is, how can I do without this habit? And it's not an alcohol habit necessarily. It's having this thing, and if whether or not it's non-alcoholic or like for me, it could have been Diet Coke back in the day.
Right.
You know, if I replace it with like Orange Crush, it's is that the point of simply not having Diet Coke? I mean, at least that's for me. Yeah. I mean, the majority of it is like not having alcohol in my system.
Yeah.
Is the main point. But then if I decide, okay, well, January's done, but I have that same habit of constantly having a non-alcoholic beverage at the same time I would have an alcoholic beverage, I have a feeling I'm going to probably slip right back into my habit, just a more or a less helpful habit, you know?
Right.
So yeah, not necessarily, it's a yes. Again, it's a yes and thing with me. Yeah. I think where I'm seeking to do it a certain way, but also like, I am probably going to find myself having a little more tea.
Yep.
And so I am replacing it, but like, but like something that's not so adjacent. I think. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. So yesterday we went out to eat lunch. I randomly. I don't know if it was randomly. So my lease was up.
Yeah.
And so I needed to do something about that.
Yeah.
And so I went up to the
We had to
dealership.
buy it or turn it back in.
I had to buy it or turn it back in.
Yeah.
If I didn't buy it, I was over 27,000 miles.
Yeah.
I was over a lot, but you and I knew that kind of going into it, and
I
it
didn't
was
think you were going to
early.
be driving across the state as much as you did.
No, that's
But
true.
apparently you
We
missed
didn't.
us.
We didn't. But I think we took one trip, you and I, down to Tennessee.
Oh, that's
Remember?
right.
And I
Oh,
looked
yeah.
at you and I said, "Well, if we do this, we're buying this thing."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yep,
I'm
let's
like,
do
yeah,
it."
Yeah. I'm like, you like it. We've had it long
Yeah.
enough where you know
Let's
you
do
like it.
Yep. So yeah, so we decided to buy it, and I walked in, and it was actually a better deal to lease another one for 3 years. So I know people probably have strong feelings one way or the other of that was a great decision or that was a bad decision, but we went to supper because, we got a new car. We got it off the showroom floor. That was weird. That was really weird to be like, hey, this car that's in the middle,
Never done
never
that.
done that.
Yeah.
And it only had 3 miles on it. I was like, whoo. So I'm feeling pretty excited about it, but my parents and I and Keith and the kids went out to eat. But it was weird because at that moment when, my dad has a beer and he's not a big drinker, my mom, they aren't big drinkers, but he had a beer when we got there and I ordered a water. And then my mom came and she's like, what's that beer you normally get? Because I like that one. I was like, oh, that's right. This is normally where I'd have a Wild Badger Red. And you ordered a near beer. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay. That's a good compromise for me.
That's the substitution I'm looking for. Yeah. And that'll, I haven't had a problem with that before. It's like, oh, that's right. Yeah, I can have that.
Yeah.
And
I just didn't even think of it though.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. Your reaction was pretty funny. You're like, whoa. And I'm like, what? I'm like, it's non-alcoholic. And I'm like, you're like, oh, I didn't think of it. I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah.
I didn't. I was like, I'll sit here with my sad water because I don't drink. Well, I don't drink
a lot of water.
I know, but I don't drink a lot of soda or lemonade or stuff with extra sugar for the most part. No. Once in a while, but not a lot. And sometimes I'll have iced tea, but it's always hit and miss. And so really, it's milk or, water for me for the most part.
I do like unsweetened iced tea.
Yeah, unsweetened iced tea is okay.
But like you said, it can be hit or miss. Or you say you get that at a place and you go over to do the spout and all of a sudden it's empty. And you're like, oh no.
Or it says unsweet and then you get it and it's really sweet and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. It's like, well, that's going to keep me up. I should have just had a cup of regular coffee.
Yeah. It's really good, but
at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that reaction, by the way, is very interesting. And I probably would have had the same thing if I simply only thought of having water.
Yeah.
That kind of emotional response of but this is not what we do. The whole point of going out is to kind of indulge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you and I, we both kind of, that's been our thing,
It's like a date night.
Yeah.
Kind of thing,
Yeah,
or celebrating with the family or or just a dinner out,
Exactly.
You order a drink and you have an appetizer, so there's it's just something to note.
Yeah.
Of ooh, that's an interesting response.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point of this experiment.
Yeah.
Is okay, what do we notice when we abstain or choose to do something a little differently?
Yeah. It helps us be just a little bit more intentional.
Yeah.
And thoughtful. And I know last year I think we did it for a month. The year before we did it for 3 months.
Yeah.
Because we just felt so good that
mm-hmm.
And I think you could have kept going. So I just always like to demonstrate to myself that I don't need to have wine and beer and give my liver a little bit of a break and enjoy feeling a little bit more present with you.
I feel like there's something you want to talk about, or I can't tell.
So just kind of to bring it back, this past Friday was National Quitters Day. I really appreciate you thinking to take this time and this moment to think about, okay, so we know that that's a thing, but what are some tangible things that we could possibly do to help us keep moving forward and ditch that perfectionist thinking of if it's not just so, that it doesn't count? or we're not making progress, because that's something I know I struggle with, and I think a lot of people do. I mean, it's probably one of the big reasons why there might be National Quitters Day, right? Because if you aren't doing certain things the right way or the perfect way, or you're not getting results you think you're going to get, which actually it surprised me. It was the 9th of January.
That's early, right?
That's super early, isn't it?
Feels early.
I thought so. Because that means people are only giving it like a week and a half.
Maybe that is the attention span of like, well, I guess my dreams aren't going to come true this year. But that's why I'm bringing it up is like it takes time, it takes consistency, and if you want to change your life, right? Like we want to do, it might take more than this year.
Yeah.
But just like we did with this past year transition, looking back and seeing what are we carrying forward, what seeds that we planted last year and the year before that we brought with us and we still have with us, right? Like focused action, consistent, persistent, right? Focus for you, a couple years ago. Like I didn't just abandon that stuff, so whatever comes from 2026, it's going to be with me in 2027 also. So that's, I guess, maybe a good way to wrap it up, because like it's not the end of the year isn't the end of the journey kind of thing. It's like
right.
We're going to keep going. Yeah. And I'm hoping that understanding that long arc helps you keep making the steady progress.
Yeah.
Just like I'm hoping it keeps helping me make the steady progress. But at the same time, we got to pull it back into like, okay, so what am I going to do today?
Yeah.
To set up tomorrow.
I'll also say, don't be afraid to help yourself with physical and visual reminders.
Yeah.
Of why you want to be doing what you're doing or what it is you're trying to do. I'm excited. The bracelet I ordered that has Transform and my Billie Jean King quote on it is going to, I think, come this week.
Okay.
So I'm very, very excited about that. And I've started putting Post-its all around the apartment. So when you come next, you're going to see and you're going to be like, what is she doing?
She's either trying to solve a crime or she committed one.
Nope, just try and keep moving forward with my, what I want to do. So don't be afraid to do that. And I know, Keith, you on your phone, you have lots of things you want to get done or want to remember on your lock screen.
Yeah.
Which is another easy thing for folks to do. Yep. So I just thought I'd throw those 3 really, well, maybe you don't have to get a bracelet like me, but you can use Post-its, you can use whatever you like, but just keep it front and center.
Get some reminders that you're going to see.
Yeah.
Write it down. This is something that I like to do, just like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even put it on your calendar.
Yeah.
Just a little thing that pops up. 7 a.m. You're awesome. Go get it today.
There you go. I like it. All right. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you too.
She's either trying to solve a crime or she committed one. No.